Alright, this is going to be another one of those high-tech redneck. Y'all know I can't do like other people do and do all the editings and things like that. um, this may seem like, well, why is she inviting us into her business? Well, I've said before to people that know me, I never mind using myself as the example, especially if it's an example of something bad that I've done or a bad choice I've made or something medical that's happened to me. If it'll in any way help anyone else, including my testimony, I will give the down and ugly and dirty if it will help someone else, because that's what I feel I'm supposed to do. Some of y'all that follow me and are friends have known that for months, several months, this probably began back last April or maybe May or something like that, that I started getting some skin issues. It may have even been June, I don't know, but I know at least half the year last year I had severe skin issues. After several misdiagnoses, that they just said, oh yeah, it's food allergies. Well, it may be. I don't really think it was. I think I had a combination of things. But anyhow, I did finally get some biopsies done, and chronic spongiatic dermatitis with lichen simplex, yada yada yada. It does say no tumor seen, so that's good. And I was approved for that, Dupixent. And normally I try to do my research, but on that particular day, it was a day before Thanksgiving, I have been going through so much itching and scratching to the point that blood would be running down my arms and legs. I couldn't sleep, yada, yada, yada. All right, so we come back around. By the time I went back to the dermatologist to get my results from my biopsies, and with the doctor saying it looked like I may even have 2 or 3 different things going on at once. But I kind of wasn't prepared. I try to do my homework, but I go in there and immediately they say, yeah, we recommend that you get on the Dupixent injection. I didn't have time to study it. I didn't have time to look it up or anything. So I went ahead. I had 2 injections in my stomach the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. All right, now we rock on, and I did call to check on the price of Dupixent, and it's just under $1,300 per shot with a recommendation of 2 shots per month. Why am I telling you all this? Well, I have since had time to do some research. I will say right up front, I'm going to say up front, it did seem to give me a good bit of relief. I still have the things on me, but not as bad, and I don't scratch myself until I'm bloody. So there is a lot of relief. However, within just a few days of my 2 shots in my stomach, my eyesight started getting just wonkier than normal. So anyhow, this is not about just me and what's going on. Have any of y'all noticed how many people, maybe even yourselves, have developed allergies, whether they're food allergies, whether they're chemical allergies, whether they're your outdoor allergies, but how many more allergies are just going on? And let's see, what is this? Dermatitis, which is also another word, is eczema, all different types of skin conditions. they seem to be going insane crazy right now. I don't know if you know it. Well, I am a very analytical person. I am sharing this for this reason. In my research on my issue, and I will start out with this. This is embarrassing. At one point, this was my legs. I would have these things all over me, all over my body. Once I found out that this Dupixent could be, my copay could be zero. Sometimes there's benefits to not making a lot of money. So now I've started doing some research. So follow along with me. I looked up Dupixent, and it's this company right here. And I thought, oh, good. I even looked it up, and it said something about it was a French company and yada, yada, yada. Well, something pushes me beyond. At 68 years old, I've stopped just taking everything and swallowing it, although I took those shots. Okay, even though that was the information was talking about it's a company out of France, yada, yada, yada. Look at the top 5 investors. And for those of y'all, I have an accounting background and a bookkeeping background. So if you don't understand what being a top shareholder or stockholder or investor means, you can actually have some control to a certain degree about the companies that you invest in. In fact, a major stockholder can help change policies. They can do all kinds of things. So, and this is all up in the I don't know kind of category. It's all the places that you don't want to necessarily have anything to do with. Well, since then, like I said, I looked it up, and there's some eye issues immediately that can come from the shot. Well, okay, I'm not even concerned so much about that. What I am concerned about is my dive in to find out these companies. I'm going to give you my take on some things. Where I'm thinking that this is happening is we weren't created this way. Believe that or not, when we were created by who I think is God, the Heavenly Father, Jehovah, the creator of all things, the heavens and the earth and all things, we were created to where our bodies were designed to eat the food, to breathe the air, to drink the water without having any problems. So where did these problems come from? And trust me, the skin and allergy problem is just a tiny portion of what I'm trying to tie in here. So I started looking. Dow is a chemical company, and they do all kinds of things. And I will come to a point. This is just, you do your own research. So I pull up major stockholders and Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, JP Morgan Chase. I'm going to try to pull everything in. Here's Dow too, that they do plastics, they do performance chemicals, they even produce agricultural chemicals. And here again, this is a different one. Here's the different shareholders, and sometimes they look like innocent shareholders to a degree. But look at the names that you would expect here, and you can pick a product. It doesn't even matter the product. Here's another major. They do chemicals. They do all kinds of things. Here's the same people. Okay, and this was one that I looked up. I don't remember who I was researching. It was one of these companies. And you look, and it looks sort of innocent because it had, this is the name that it showed. Well, do a little bit more digging, and when you pull it up, you know who that is? Same too. Same people over and over. Same groups that own everything. everything. I mean, it's like they own everything. I don't know if I can even blow that up, but okay. So let's carry it a little bit more. Here's all the top managing firms and investments, and it is who you think. But sometimes even behind the names, you'll see the same names behind the name that they're trying to put up there to act like nothing is happening. All right, I showed you the Dow and the DuPont, which can be chemicals and plastics. Well, here we go with this name. We all know that. Look again. Here's the same thing. Same. All right, there's that again. So I'm going to get out of there. Now, what I'm going to do is I did a research here about why are skin conditions on the rise? Just a search. Of course, this shouldn't surprise anybody. Data shows climate change has been the contributing to a rise in infections that affect the skin. All right. Does that surprise anyone? Here's this from the National NIH. I'm bringing this up because it's saying allergy epidemics from 1870 to 2010. Another thing I researched is, when did crop modifications begin? You know, when we started playing God, we started changing things. And without going into all of these, you need to do your own research because it literally affects you, your health, and your loved ones. And let's see, where did that's FDA. Let's see if no, that's not it. I'm not going to read the whole thing at all, but it says a timeline of genetic modification in agriculture. Back in 1866, think about this now. There's been certain allergies, but we weren't designed this way. We weren't created this way. We weren't born in the beginning with these things until people started modifying, crossbreeding, and there's a certain amount good to that, but it's been taken to a whole new level. So this is even way back in 8000 BCE. And it's come on and come on and come on. Well, now we've gone to epic proportions. And I say we, the powers that be are modifying everything. They'll make changes up in the air, whether you believe that or not. No one, I'm not appointed, nor anyone else, to convince you of certain things. You have to open your own brain. You have to listen to your gut. You need to look and see about some of the stuff going on, because my job isn't to make you believe. It's out there. It's been out there. But here is what I really want to get at. How ironic is it that you can take the chemical companies and their biggest stockholders are these same, we'll just say top 3, top 5. It's the same group. The chemicals, well, okay. And the plastics, same stockholders, the same group. Even if they use a different name, research those different names, and it'll all come back to the same group of 3 or 4 or 5. Now you take the drugs, the pharmaceuticals. Guess what? Same stockholders. Isn't that a bit wonderful? That either way, you're going to make money by the chemicals that are made. You're going to make money by the drugs that are made to fix the problems that were caused by the chemicals. And it just is a perfect, brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant what they have done to make sure that no matter what happens, they're good. These people. And in case y'all didn't know this, and I sadly enough did not know some of these things until recently being 4 or 5 years, I was so naive. Did you know these certain people, they weren't called that then, but there's certain groups of people. Did you know that in every war, they invest and they gamble on both sides? Did you know that? They hedge their bets by no matter what happens, they'll be okay. They will come out reigning supreme. They will still have their power, they will have their influence. And you think, okay, well, that's business wise, that's great. Well, it means that for generations, they've been betting on money at the literal cost of people's lives, which I think is a bit crappy, and they will pay for it one day. And it's not me saying that, it's what they're reaping here on earth will be sown in eternity. I'm going to wrap this up because I can go on and on about this. I highly suggest, I'm a person that has taken every medication, every vax, anything that I was ever supposed to do until things changed in 2020 with, what went around worldwide. And somehow or another, I felt like I was warned or told or whatever, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And I was all in. I mean, I was out there preaching, wear the mask, do this, do that. Don't go to church, keep people safe, stay at home. I bought the whole thing until I started seeing things that did not make sense. I want to wrap up on a more positive note. I'm at a point to where I'm not sure, should I continue on? I am approved for 100% financing for those shots. But something has got me really hesitant right now is the pain and suffering that I went through for 6 or 7 months worth what may be an ultimate plan or goal for all of us. And if that sounds conspiracy theory, you do you. Person, I love you. I hope you will learn truth, because the truth can save your life. But you do you. I'd like some input on, I may not take these shots. I don't know. I will say, in my opinion, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I do have a brain that God gave me, and I use it. And I have instincts, and I can pray, and I ask for wisdom. I think these are happened by design. They're not going to change. They're not going to get better. We're blindly and innocently doing everything that we're told to do while things are in our food. They are in our water, if you're on city water or whatever, and probably even in this right here, whenever you go and buy your water. It's in our cleaning supplies, it's in our soap, it's in our detergent. Just be mindful. But, in ending on a more positive note, here's the scripture alert. Back in Genesis 50, verse 19 and 20. And Joseph said unto them, Fear not, for am I in the place of God? But as for you, ye thought evil against me. And he's talking about his brothers that had basically sold them to him to a traitor. He said, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it for unto good, to bring to pass as it is this day, to save much people alive. Okay, and then I want to Isaiah 54:17. No weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me, saith the Lord. And then the last thing, which maybe should have been the first verse, this doesn't make sense necessarily. If you look at it, if you're a moral person, did you know it's so hard for the innocent, for the morally upright to understand true evil. And that some people out there don't care if you draw another breath, as long as they can continue their lifestyle and their way of life and their bank account. But I can't control what you think. So I'm going to finish off here in Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand that, well, and then it goes on about that. If you look at this from the perspective that it is, this isn't about just evil men versus decent men, humans. Then some of this is not really going to, it'll seem like a phase. But if you understand, no, this goes way beyond human. This is way beyond human. Some of the things that are being designed right now and put in the air, put in our foods, in our modifying our seeds, everything. Humans cannot sustain life on it. Not any kind of meaningful life cannot even be sustained. Well, how does that happen? That's another video. I'm not even sure, and if I lose my few little subscribers over this, then that's God's will too, and I'm okay with that, because what I can't live with is if I don't even share the little half a tad of knowledge that I know. I would rather have you mad at me and alive than die thinking, well, wasn't she just the sweetest thing? No, I don't care. I'm going to bring you truth. I want you to understand truth. Make your choices, make informed choices, but there's stuff happening. I'm not even convinced that some of these in the background, way beyond, there's beings or people or whatever way back there. We don't even know who they are. Some of these things that are happening, and we kind of subconsciously knew it, or I did, but we were taught to think, oh no, they used a pulley system. The pyramids, some of these huge rocks and boulders that weighed tons. And yet we were convinced our entire life, no, don't look here, that makes sense. Oh yeah, they all got together and did. We've got equipment now, people, that cannot do what we have seen done way back in the prehistoric days. There's writings on the wall, literally, inside places, of different strange beings or something. Somewhere, dig in your mind, whether you're a Christian or not. Number one, I say, become born again and ask the Lord for wisdom, who will give it to all men liberally. But even if you don't believe in none of that, start listening to your common sense and your gut. Don't you know something's wrong? Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it? The very things that are causing our problems are owned by or financed by the very people that have the solution. That's as if I'm going to put the serpent, the venomous serpent, down deliberately, hide it on your property so that you'll be bitten by it. I own the serpent, I put it down there, and now I'm the only one that's going to have the cure? Isn't that a bit fortunate? No. Please wake up. Please wake up. Anyway, I'm going to end it at that. I love you. The Lord loves you. Do your own research. Conform consent. The truth really will set you free. Give me some input on what you think I should do with this shot. Do I want to go back to scratching until I'm literally blood running down my arms and legs? No, I don't. But at a certain point, when do you? I just showed you the line. Believe it or not, I'm telling you, that's up to you. I wish you well. I always will wish you well. Y'all have become very special and important to me. So excuse a crazy woman for her ramblings on, but there's more to what's happening every day than meets the eye. Things don't add up. Human existence cannot continue to exist in the way it's going. And yes, I know what that says. Where did it go? I know what it says about that. Believe what you want, people. Believe what you want. Everything. There's a certain amount of truth to this, but where did that happen? It's still happening. Look up above you. It's still happening. Wake up. Do some of your own research. Love you guys.